And let's switch now to another headline that we're following, and that is the Jonathan Majors domestic violence trial, as some new evidence was released today. What was that, Meghann?
Yeah, that was pretty major. It's the evidence that's been presented in the trial so far to the jury. So this is stuff that we've been hearing about from the reporters and the people who have been able to see this for themselves in the courtroom, such as a video of him actually. They're they're outside of the car. He's outside of the car, and it's an interpretation of what he's actually doing. If he's simply putting her back in the car, or if he's throwing her back in the car. The prosecutors have characterized it as him throwing her back into the car, and then she gets out and goes after him and kind of runs after him. And this was presented to the jury as kind of the aftermath of the assault that the prosecutors say took place in the car, in which they say her finger was injured in this. And I think both sides of the case, the prosecution and the defense, is trying to use this video to their advantage and to try to explain it in a way that helps their case. And then there's also some recordings that have come out. We've heard about a recording that played earlier of him talking to Grace about, he's a great man and things that he needs her to do to support his greatness. And some people are interpreting this as, an example of prior bad behavior and perhaps an example of an abusive relationship. And what's interesting to me as somebody who's following this online and getting a lot of tweets about it and a lot of commentary about it is how both sides can really spin the same set of evidence. I'm seeing completely different descriptions of the video from the car and of her running after him, and I'm seeing different interpretations of the recording. And I think that speaks to the importance of remembering that this is a jury that's hearing this. It's a misdemeanor case. So apparently in New York City they have 6 jurors who are going to decide this case, but this is very much up to the 6 people who have been hearing this all in real time in court, actually in person, and haven't been saturated with all the online commentary that's going on. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. And then, if any of the jurors feel comfortable coming forward and talking about this after the case, just with all the media attention on this.
Well, yeah, and that audio recording too, one of the big things that many are talking about right now, where he scolds his then girlfriend, like you said. A couple of things that I thought were really interesting for not being more like Michelle Obama or Coretta King, just really bizarre.
Yeah, and some people are saying that I saw one defending him as saying, well, he wasn't saying that she needed to be those women. He was just saying that that's an example of who she should be like. And I think some people would say that that's maybe a distinction without a difference. And I saw somebody else say that this is an example of how not to talk to somebody. That this it's hard for people to argue that this is not an abusive way to talk to somebody, and just the way you can hear her crying and the tone that he's taking with her. But it's just the spin that's going on online. It's so oversaturated with that it's important to remember that hopefully, or at least under instruction from the court, the jurors aren't subjected to that outside commentary. They're hearing it from the lawyers themselves in court. But I think it's a testament to the openness of the court that at least we were able to see this stuff ourselves, because I've seen a lot of complaints that trials need to be televised more, but of course there's a lot of arguments against that. But I think to be able to have evidence like this out for the public to actually see themselves, so you're not relying on the description of a video, you can actually see the video yourselves, is crucial. And that's what's going on today. And I think we're going to be seeing more coverage of that throughout the day.
Yeah, that's certainly very interesting today.